In today's video, we're diving deep into something every man faces but few talk about: rejection. Whether it's from a job, a woman, or a dream that seems just out of reach, rejection can shake you to your core. But what if I told you that rejection isn't your enemy? It could actually be the key to unlocking your greatest potential. Before we get into the heart of it, I want to remind you, if you're getting value from this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Let's build a community where we uplift each other and grow together. Now, let's get started. A man who fears rejection is a man who has already rejected himself. Let that sink in for a moment. If you're afraid of hearing no from the world, it's likely because, deep down, you've already said no to yourself. But here's the good news: rejection is not the end of your journey. In fact, it's just the beginning. It's the push that propels you to greatness if you choose to see it that way. Think back to the last time life knocked you down. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a woman who turned you down, or a dream that seemed to slip through your fingers. I bet it stung. I bet it made you question yourself. But what if I told you that this rejection isn't a sign of your inadequacy? What if it's the very thing that's going to catapult you to success? In the next few moments, we'll explore how to reshape your relationship with rejection. We'll look at how the greatest men in history used setbacks as fuel for their success. By the end of this, you'll have the tools not just to face rejection but to embrace it, use it, and thrive because of it. Now, ask yourself, are you ready to transform rejection from your greatest fear into your greatest strength? If the answer is yes, then buckle up. This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those brave enough to embrace the challenges ahead. True strength and unshakable confidence await you, but you must be willing to face rejection head-on. So, what is rejection really? It's a word that makes even the toughest of us flinch, but at its core, it's simply someone or something saying, "Not this time," to something you've put into the world. That no doesn't define your worth as a man. It's not a universal truth about your abilities or your future. It's just a moment in time, a piece of information you can use to grow, evolve, and come back stronger. Think about it. Every time you face rejection, you're actually putting yourself out there. You're taking risks. You're showing up. And that's what separates the men from the boys. You see, the men who succeed, who leave their mark on the world, are the ones who face rejection over and over again without letting it break them. Every no leads you closer to the right yes. The most successful men in history faced more rejection than you can imagine. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Stephen King's first novel was rejected 30 times. These men didn't let rejection define them. They let it refine them. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Rejection hurts. It's a psychological blow that can shake your confidence and make you question your path. But that pain is temporary. What you do with it defines you as a man. When you face rejection, your brain reacts as if it's experiencing physical pain. It tries to protect you, to keep you from taking risks. But we're not here to play it safe, are we? We're here to grow, challenge ourselves, and become the best versions of who we're meant to be. So how do we reframe rejection? It starts with understanding that rejection does not reflect your entire being. It's specific to that moment, that situation, that person. It's not a universal truth about who you are or what you're capable of. It's a momentary setback, nothing more. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I poured everything I had into a business venture. I was sure it was going to be my big break. I pitched my idea to investor after investor, confident they'd see the potential. But what happened? Rejection after rejection after rejection. For a while, I was crushed. I felt like a failure. But then I realized something crucial: each rejection was teaching me something. Each one was showing me how to improve my business, my pitch, and myself. I listened to the feedback, refined my ideas, sharpened my skills, and eventually, that failure became the foundation for my most successful venture to date. That's the power of rejection when you harness it correctly. It's not there to stop you. It's there to shape you into the man you're meant to become. The next time you face rejection, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What opportunity does this open up that I couldn't see before? Rejection is not the end of the road. It's a detour leading you to where you're meant to be. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your power lies in how you respond to rejection. Will you let it break you, or will you use it as fuel to propel you forward? Let me challenge you. The next time you face rejection, don't run from it. Embrace it. Welcome it. Thank it for the lesson it's offering. Because here's the truth, a man who has never been rejected is a man who has never truly lived. He's never pushed his boundaries. He's never reached for something greater than himself. Don't be that man. Be the man who dares greatly, who puts himself out there, who sees rejection not as a stop sign but as a challenge to find another way. You are not defined by the rejections you face. You are defined by how you rise after each one. So rise, gentlemen. Rise and show the world what you're made of. Your call to action. Action. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. Who said that? It doesn't matter. What matters is whether you're ready to live it. Are you prepared to stop being a prisoner of your history and start being the architect of your destiny? Look around. You see that guy at the gym pushing through his last rep when every muscle is screaming to quit. He's not just building muscle, he's building resilience. That woman giving a presentation despite her hands shaking, she's not just sharing information, she's conquering fear. These are modern-day Stoics. They're not wearing togas or pontificating in ancient forums, they're in boardrooms, classrooms, and even in your mirror. Take Ryan Holiday for example. This guy turned ancient Stoic wisdom into best-selling books and a thriving business. He didn't let his past as a college dropout define him. Instead, he used those lessons to fuel his success. Or consider Rear Admiral James Stockdale, who survived 7.5 years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. His secret weapon, Stoic philosophy. He said, I never lost faith. At the end of the story, I never doubted that I would get out and prevail in the end and turn the experience into the defining event of my life, which in retrospect I would not trade. These aren't superhumans, they're people like you who decided to take control of their story. So here's my challenge to you: start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, pick one thing, just one, that you've been avoiding because of past failures or fear. Now do it. Take that first step. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the face of fear. Write this quote from Marcus Aurelius and stick it where you'll see it daily. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Your past doesn't define you unless you let it. Your future is not set in stone, it's shaped by the choice you make right now, in this moment. So what's it going to be? Will you keep letting your past write your story, or are you ready to pick up the pen and become the author of your own life? The choice is yours. The time is now. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. Now go out there and show the world what you're made of, because remember, you're not just capable of change, you are the change. Let's do this.